Alright, everyone. Welcome to episode number 34 of Everday Thoughts, and let's get straight into it. So, I think this is mostly US based, but turns out that 73% of all the foods you can buy in a supermarket are actually processed or hyper processed or ultra processed foods, which is actually crazy because processed foods aren't made and supposed to make us eat until we're full, but eat until we are basically beyond full or in a calorie surplus. Of course, if you're bulking, this is not too bad, but like in general, diet being linked to mental well-being is not like something revolutionary. And that being said, having like these very addictive and like super stimulating foods um it's probably not a good thing. I mean, if you have a balanced range of foods that you eat and most of them aren't processed, and then of course sometimes eating something processed isn't gonna do any big harm, but having your diet consist of mostly processed foods on the other hand is probably not very good. And if you have some extra weight, then that might or is probably the reason. And if you aren't feeling mentally perfect or just very well in general, maybe you feel like your mind feels fog, like you have mind fog, or you just feel like you can wake up, eat something, and go back to sleep again after a full night of sleep. That might be the case that your diet isn't quite locked in. And then moving on to a new book I started, The Magic of Thinking Big. Don't know the author right now, but doesn't matter. Very good book. And basically, the best quote I got from that book, or just knowledge, I'd say, is: are you using your mental capacity to make history or to record history? So basically, in the context of the book, it means that you should put your mind to solving ideas and not just remembering information, because just remembering information doesn't really help anyone. But on the other hand, solving ideas and problems and coming or figuring out solutions for these problems is very important for mostly everyone, and especially for business environments. And that also comes the magic of thinking big, which is basically you having or you being fixated on positive thoughts and a positive attitude, which doesn't tear anyone down and which makes you look like an enthusiastic person. And of course, if you're an enthusiastic person, you're happy, you're just a positive person in general, you're gonna attract a lot more people. People will want to be around you, and you're not gonna be annoying to spend time with. And of course, you're gonna be more successful. Your mindset's just gonna be a lot more success focused or success oriented, instead of when you have more of a negative mindset where you're just looking for reasons that something can't succeed. And that is also what I think is really quite interesting, is that the quote of failing from is not believing that you will succeed. And I think that also plays quite well into the whole you haven't failed until you've stopped trying. But if you think like, okay, there's no point in doing it anyway, I'm not gonna do this, I'm too old, too young, whatever, I'm not made for this, then you're not gonna try. And if you stop trying, then you basically give up. And failing on its own isn't a bad thing, but giving up is. So that's just like a quick reminder, I'd say, to have a more positive outlook on life. It's just gonna benefit you in every single way. And it's just gonna free up so much mental space for things that actually matter and not you just being negative towards everything and everyone all the time. And you're probably gonna seek success coming out of the nowhere, it may seem, but it's not. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you